Votez Collé!
Votez pour Louis! Votez pour Noah!
Guy Code with Rena Oswald.
Welcome to another episode of The Guy Code. Now on this episode, we are going to be talking about feminists' most hated topic, which is submission. Women should submit to men. We're going to be discussing that. Is that a fallacy? Is that a practicality? Is that outdated? Let's get into it. Thank you guys for listening, and as usual, Guy Code has you covered as you stay safe during this period. We're still giving you this red pill masculine content consistently. Now, submission. Okay, first thing I want you guys to know is my experience with submission. Well, first of all, I never naturally knew how to make women submit. I was more of a negotiator. So I was always about this. I wasn't a feminist, but I would say I was more of an equalist. So that you don't really have to submit. Like if you have a good idea, or if you have we can equally bring in 50-50, so we are both equal in the relationship. And of course, with that mentality and with that practicality in my relationships, there was no sexual tension, and that's why I probably had the worst intimacies ever in my life during that time. So I think first, you have to recognize that men and women were not created equal and were not made to play equal parts in a relationship, because you need that polarity. It is very, very important to have that polarity in a relationship. And probably one story I can tell you guys is one where it was early. I think I was 20. I was 20 when this was happening, and I noticed I was dating this girl who I'd gotten used to her just ghosting me regularly. Like, she used to ghost a lot. So we used to text, and she just ghosts. And just generally, I let it pass. I was like, oh, maybe she's busy, and I was that kind of person that when she texts, of course, being my special woman in my life at the time, I definitely used to reply immediately, but her, she could take her time, maybe reply almost 6 hours later, or even the next day. And it got on my nerves for a bit, but since I was more conservative, I thought I was being nice and being reasonable, thinking that she could be more busy than me and she had more to do than me, which was a dumb mindset, coming to think about it right now. I let it pass, and it became worse and worse, to a point where she blight out to me like, you know what, when I see your text, yeah, I could reply, but there's some people I find as a higher priority to reply to. And even when I heard that, I just decided to take it, and thinking back to it right now, I can't help but just laugh at myself, because that was so bad of me. But knowing what I know now, I will not stand for it at all. I will stop it immediately when it started. Now, you guys, I just want to go through a couple of things we should know about submission and how to make these women submit, and what is that one key thing that you must have. One thing. It's not a couple of notes I'm going to cover with you guys on this episode. There's just one main thing that I just want to tell you guys that is the key to making every woman submit. But just as an introduction, I want to cover a couple of things that you should know before we get to that one key thing. First thing is that there are many women who naturally do not submit. There are many. I think with the modern world we have today, even where I am right now in Kenya and in Africa, even though yes, there's a lot of patriarchy, most of the society is still patriarchal. The feminist movement and the women empowerment movement has definitely made an impact in the society I'm living in, especially since in the cities. So it has made women of my generation rather, have been raised to see equal roles being played and equal power sharing in relationships, and this has made them not naturally submit compared to the generations before them. So first thing, you guys should know that women of nowadays do not naturally submit. Okay. Secondly, you should know that there are many women who do not know how to have healthy relationships. I've had a lot of coaches say that, if your woman does not submit, it's definitely always your fault. Some of the times it can be your fault, but sometimes there are some women who are just not good in relationships and don't know how to keep good relationships with people. Generally, just based on their upbringing and all that stuff. But of course, we won't get into that right now. But you just know there's some chicks who are messed up. It's not always your fault, like other, red pill coaches might make you think. So, notwithstanding that, you should take responsibility, especially when I give you this one key thing that you should know to make women submit. So let's get into it. The first thing, the key to make women submit is that you should have the ability to leave the relationship. Have the ability to walk away from the relationship. That's the biggest key you can have. That which is, I usually summarize it as an abundance mindset. How do you develop an abundance mindset? Is when you have options. How do you have options as a man? Is when you are a high value man. How do you become a high value man? Is by constantly self-developing yourself. So all these things are connected. So if you're a high value man, you have options, you will have an abundance mindset, you will have the ability to leave the relationship. You make the choices, you are the prize, you act like the prize. You say, these are the rules and the expectations I have. If you do not live up to them, please, I don't have time for this. If you don't act like this, I don't have time for this. There are a couple of others I can get, and they will be glad, to have a high value man than me. If you want to walk away, go ahead, walk away and get another beta who will just be at your beck call. But here we're red pills, we are a high value man. We don't have time for that. If you have the ability to leave the relationship, then you have the key to making the woman submit to you. Because as a high value man, she knows that she will not get this anywhere else. You are a high value man. All she's surrounded by is simps and maybe orbiters who just give her free validation. And of course, there's no sexual tension, there's no passion that she can find with you. So definitely, if you have made an attachment, she will definitely come back. And when she comes back, she has to be punished. Punished as in given some sort of consequence to her being hard-headed. Okay, it doesn't mean violence. I do not advocate for violence, but you must correct it, whether it is checking her verbally, whether it's a warning. You must be able to stand your ground and say, you know what, this is my truth, this is what I believe in, and you must comply with it if you want a relationship with me. And you definitely have to stand your ground as a man and say, this is my relationship, I am the prize here, and these are the kind of expectations I have, and you must abide to them. If you do not, there will be consequences, and I put these consequences to show that how much I believe that I am the prize in the relationship. Okay, this is not a very easy thing to do, especially if you have been a beta for a while, and I've been there, and it wasn't an easy process to have, because if you're not used to standing up for yourself to a woman and still have that scarcity mindset, oh, I need her, oh, you know what, I can't live without her, you should be able to walk away. And in fact, if you walk away, you should be mentally prepared to know that some of these women will not come back. But you have to ask yourself this: will you rather endure disrespect for just some wet crack? For wet crack, you'll just endure disrespect because you just want it that bad? Really? No, man. You're a high value man. No, none of it is worth it. No wet crack is worth your disrespect. You have to stand up for yourself. It doesn't matter. There's like billions of them all over the world. They're easily replaceable. There's nothing really magical there. Only what you tell yourself is special there. That's the truth, okay? So always have an abundance mindset, okay? And first, how do you get her to submit from the start? Let me give you that point. For this, just walk away in case you've already been in a relationship. But how do you get to a point where you already make the rules from the start and you have an easy foundation from the start? Here's the thing, okay? First, men, do not be too needy at the beginning. Do not show neediness at the beginning. One thing men really make a mistake is trying too hard at the beginning, trying to make an impression, trying to show that, you know what, whether you're through money or through compliments or anything, you're trying to overcompensate something and try to make an impression and trying to give an impression that, you know what, she really needs you, or you're really a prize to her, or whatever, something like that. But actually you're just coming off as needy, okay? This woman, if she really finds you attractive, you won't really pursue that hard. She will make it easy for you. Let me repeat that. If a woman has genuine high level interest in you, she will make it easy for you to pursue her. So if she's always, dodging, flaking on dates, oh, I don't know, maybe, oh, I have to check with my schedule, oh, I don't have, transport, or Nini, I need a ride, or something, I'm tired, or something like that. Listen, ask yourself this. If David Beckham asked her out, do you think she would say she was too tired? Think about it, man, okay? So if she has genuine high interest, she will make it easy for you to pursue her. So that's how you get it from the beginning. One, do not try too hard to make an impression, because if you start on that tempo, she will expect it to continue all over throughout the relationship. If you're always showering her with gifts and you never say no from the beginning because you're trying to make an impression on her, even when you get her, she will still expect you to be the doormat you have been from the start. And as a high value man, that is something we don't even discuss or debate on. That is not us. That's for the beta males. We are red pill. We are high value man. We are not doormats, okay? So from the beginning, it should start from a point where she has a higher level interest and you are focused on your mission. She's not the focus of your mission. No, you continue to self-develop yourself. That's another mistake men make. When you've already found that guy, I'm like, oh, I already found the woman of my dreams, I need to slow down. I can just let myself go and keep, just trying to make her happy instead of pursuing my dreams and making myself a better man. No, she was there because you were a better man, and you should continue self-developing yourself financially, physically, and all that, okay? So when you're in a relationship and keep self-developing yourself, you still have options like you did when you started. So when she comes up with that nonsense, which she's pushing and pulling, which they will always do, even if you're high value man, even if you're whatever, even if I'm sure even David Beckham and Justin Bieber, all these guys, yeah, some guys flock to them, but it reaches a point where all women just want to test and see whether you're really attached to them, or will you start simping. They really need to test your core strength This is a point where you need to pull back completely, withdraw completely. And when she calls you, you do not keep running back and saying, okay, yeah, I think she learned her lesson. She's contacted me. She said she's sorry. Don't let her go off that easily. She needs to face some consequences, whether you tell her off, whether she has to do something for you or something like that. Just consequences that you know, as a high value man, will benefit you. Okay, this is not just for her, like, oh, consequences we go, she goes to, you guys go to, I don't know, vacation and something like that. Nah, something that she will get the message that, listen, know your place and I am the prize in the relationship. So guys, just about summation is that you have to have the ability to leave the relationship. You have to have the ability to stand your ground and live by your truth and say, you know what, these are the expectations I have, and if you are not going to abide by them, I'm going to step. Okay, I'm a high value man, I have other options, I'm stepping. This is over, leave. If you come back, there are consequences, because you know what, you can't let you off the hook just that easy because you said sorry. So that has been the episode for today. Always have an abundance mindset. That's just the whole episode summarized in 2 words: abundance mindset. The key to making a woman submit to you is an abundance mindset. Telling her, you know what, I have options. You can walk away if you want to walk away. There are many women who will love to be with me and will abide by the rules that I put in place because I am the prize. So you guys, I'm glad you listened to this podcast episode. Keep following on different platforms, on Twitter at GuyCode Kenya, at Instagram at Rena Oswere, and we shall talk soon. Bye.